Hi guys, it's Dean, and today I want to show you something. Okay, you see all this pet hair in here? Okay, well I've come up with a technique that helps a lot. Okay, and I figured I'll share it with you guys today because this will help speed up your process as well. Uh, Pet hair, it's a huge issue for us. It takes a lot of time to do it properly, but this could help you guys start thinking outside the box and maybe get it done a little bit quicker. Okay, one of the things I do is I spray everything down with fabric softener. Now, I learned that from Scott Blay and from Darren Priest, okay, from watching their videos, which I strongly recommend. You guys get out there and watch as much stuff as you can for free and learn, okay? So it doesn't have to be this brand. That's a cheap brand. Any brand will work. It doesn't matter. Whatever fabric softener you like, the fragrance you like, uh, it'll work. So you just take 1/4 of that in a bottle, fill the rest of the bottle up with water, you're good to go. Now, either pre-spray your vehicle the night before if you have that luxury, or spray it about 20 minutes before you're going to start doing this process. So spray it down, okay? And while you're waiting for this to do its job, find something else to do. Take out the floor mats, clean the floor mats. The longer this sits, the better it's going to work. So you know what? Take your floor mats out and work on them while that's doing its job. Okay? And while you're working on the rest of the vehicle, the floor mats will be up drying, and then something else is happening while you're working. So that's one of the things you want to do. You want to make sure that there's something going on behind the scenes while you're doing your detail. Maximize your time. If there's something else going on while you're doing this, that's fantastic. If you have another vehicle at your shop, have an ozone machine running in it, or have something else going on while you're doing this vehicle. Make the best of your time. Find out ways that you can cut your times down. Okay, so I'm going to get back to this real quick. Now, this is a pet stone, okay? And pet stones are very sharp. It's a good tool, but it's a sharp tool. You want to avoid coming in contact with leather seats with this. And what I'm talking about there is if it's a fabric seat with leather sides on it, like it, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. So if you've got a combination seat that's two different materials, you want to stay away from the leather with this, because if this does touch the leather or the vinyl, it will damage it. What I do is I use a very light pressure on this, just enough to make contact, and I pull the heaviest hair off. While I'm doing that, I'm also using the fur eel right with it. So I do those two first to take the majority of the hair off and make my job a lot easier. Now, once I get that done, I go to my hair removal tools. Now, this one just happens to be from Adams. Doesn't matter which one you use. You can use any kind of tool like this. It will work. I also have a lily brush. So whichever one is working the best on the fabric that you're working with, go with it. You might end up using both of them at the same time as well too. I like to use them because some areas you get in tight spots, it's easier to use a smaller tool than the lily brush. Now, the difference between just using those brushes and the way I do it is I use my mini tornado at the same time. So when I'm loosening up that hair, I'm blowing it out of my way at the same time, and I always start at the back of the vehicle and blow everything and work everything to the front. So that way, when I get up to the front, that's it. Once I get the front clean, we're good. And then I can start my process and go through and start steaming and doing everything else and get it clean. Pet hair is a big problem. I charge extra for that because it takes me usually about 1 to 2 hours, depending on how much dog hair there is, extra. So make sure you charge the customer extra for removing that pet hair, because it is a big pain and it is going to take you a long time. And the customer should pay you for your time. Now, one other tool I have that is phenomenal that I really, really like is my air scrubber. Now, this is a DA air scrubber. The nice thing about this is it vibrates the floor and it helps loosen up the hair at the same time. So as it's pulling the sand and the dirt and stuff out of the fabric, it's also vibrating everything loose. It helps a lot. Simple drill brush will have a similar effect, but the DA motion just takes it to a whole nother level. Makes it a lot easier, all right? So while I'm using that brush, I also use the mini tornado gun at the same time. So while I'm loosening that, I'm still continuously blowing forward. Okay, so I go and I start that up. I have that on there vibrating and loosening things up, and I'm blowing at the same time. Now, one of the things I do here is I have two different small compressors filling a big tank. That way there it keeps down my noise in my shop, so I don't have a jackhammer running in the background every single time I'm working. And it keeps up the pressure for me. So instead of buying a gigantic tank, you know, and have that in my shop, I just have two smaller tanks, and it keeps the noise right down. The last thing I do when I'm done all this process is I will go through at the very end after I'm done this process, and I go through and I steam it and use a tornado gun and clean everything out. Then I just follow it up with a light vacuum. And then the hair is mostly gone. And make sure when you're doing this, reach underneath the seats as far as you can and blow all that out. The mini tornado comes in very, very handy to reaching in where you can't get. Now, I strongly recommend shoving this under the seat as far as you can. Don't put your hands or your arm underneath that seat. Try and stay away from there if you can't see. Make sure you use a light so you can see if there's anything hanging underneath that seat, broken wire, anything that could be there that might poke you or hurt you. Make sure that you've got that area well lit so you're protected while you're in there trying to clean it out. Okay, I hope this helps you, and I just want you guys to run with this and start thinking outside the box, start combining more tools together, and make the process a whole lot easier, because I found that this cuts my car time down a lot. Once I go through and I get all this dog hair out of here, it's a simple detail after that. It just basically, I go through, freshen everything up, clean what I have to clean. If there's the odd spill in it, I take care of that as well. But it's a lot easier when that dog hair is gone, because once you get that dog hair wet, it just makes a bigger mess. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope this helps, and I hope that this encourages you guys to try more things. All right, and by all means, if you find something fantastic that works, please share it, because that's what we're all about, is helping the community as a whole. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you again.